Alright guys, here's another rematch with Fat Jesus, who is a Twitch stream follower. So if you want to battle with me, make sure you like and follow on Twitch. Either way, I am using the team I was using from last battle, except one change. I decided to include Medicham instead of Lucario. Medicham is a little bit weaker, but reduces the fighting type weakness that I had last time. Either way, he leads with a Registeel, as I lead with my Medicham. It actually has Focus Sash, so it's pretty, because obviously Medicham is really frail, but has quite a bit of attack strength using pure power. This is not a Mega Medicham, obviously, since I am including Mega Manectric in this team. Obviously, I cannot use two Megas. Well, technically you can, but you can only Mega Evolve once per battle, so it's kind of a waste. Either way, I go into Ferrothorn, and yeah, to take the predicted move from this Gastrodon, which you might remember from my first battle with Fat Jesus, we had quite a stall fest between my Vaporeon and his Gastrodon. Luckily, I do kind of... well, looking at this team, I knew that it would be able to handle Gastrodon if he did bring it, and he did, so I'm not really too worried about Gastrodon, although it's still a really annoyingly bulky Pokemon. Either way, he goes into Registeel, probably because he wants to set up Stealth Rocks, since obviously he can set them up against my Ferrothorn. He goes for the Thunder Wave, predicting my switch. I did not switch, I decided just to set up Leftovers. Sorry, not Leftovers. Set up Leech Seed, and now I'm going to switch into Manectric. Now, this thing does have Explosion, and I did learn that the first time we fought. So, the Mega Evolution is going to give me the Intimidate, which should be good. Enough to steal away the Registeel, even if he stays in. I don't think I ever predict. I just go for the Overheat to kill the Registeel if it does stay in. If not, get damage on whatever he goes into. And he does go out into Slugger, his Gastrodon, which will take the Overheat pretty nicely. I think I actually get a crit, though, so I end up doing some decent damage to the Gastrodon, but still nothing he can, nothing that he can't recover off at any rate. But yeah, there's the Overheat, and yeah, obviously, the resistance does help the Gastrodon, not to mention its bulky defenses. Still took that pretty nicely, and my Mega Manectric needs to switch out. I don't have a way to really hurt it with my Manectric. It's basically a hard counter to my Mega Manectric there, so I want to get rid of the Gastrodon as quickly as possible. He's going to recover as I switch, which is a pretty obvious play. Now, I don't actually carry the Grass move on this Ferrothorn. I carry Thunder Wave into the Power Whip, but he doesn't know that, and I'm banking on that. He switches out into Infernape as I just go for the Leech Seed. Kind of figured, even if he stayed in, yeah, the Leech Seed isn't a bad thing. Plus, his Gastrodon can't really hurt my Ferrothorn at all, so it's not really a huge risk. Either way, that Infernape obviously can deal damage to Ferrothorn, being that it is super effective in all sorts of ways. I go into Dragonite hoping that he would go for close combat or something. He ends up just U-turning away, so that's not a bad play for him, as he gets to send out a counter to Dragonite, although he does lose some HP due to his Life Orb. So I made a note of that, made a note that that is a Life Orb Infernape, and so I don't make any mistakes. I've been doing that lately. I've been making a few less mistakes because of it. You know, before in earlier battles I would forget items and stuff. Either way, that donphan, I do not want to take an Ice Shard, so I am going to switch out into Jellicent as he just goes for the Rapid Spin, which is actually pretty good for me either way, because I can block the Rapid Spin with Jellicent, being that it does not affect me. So I go for the Will-O-Wisp. Being that Donphan is a physical Pokemon, it's always good to get off, well, unless it has Guts, but it doesn't have Guts, because it can't get Guts. It's usually good to burn physical guys, and yeah, it's not bad. He does end up knocking off my Leftovers, which is going to slightly hurt in the long run, but doesn't do a whole lot thanks to the burn. So he goes back into Slugger as I go for the Recover, and I can't really hurt him. I mean, I could get the burn off on Slugger, but it's not really going to hurt him that much. But yeah, I do have Taunt, which is going to be huge to destroy this Gastrodon. He sees the Taunt as he protects, and he's going to switch out into his Donphan again, predicting I would go for the Taunt again. Instead, I just go for the Will-O-Wisp, which ends up being alright for him either way, because Elefante is already burned. So I do go for the Scald, because I do have it, and it's super effective. Why not? As he just tries to do as much damage as he can with Earthquake, which, like I said, isn't going to do a whole lot, thanks to the burn. And I get the Cursed Body off, so he can't even do it again. He has one more turn before dying, and he's going to Ice Shard, because I'm faster. So, yeah, there you go. Not a bad play, really, and I'm just going to kill him with Scald, and that is that. Elefante, the Donphan, has been defeated. Get out of here. Alright, so now he goes into Salamence, and I think I misplayed this Salamence pretty hard. I kind of know, I remember battling him before, he had a Salamence that was Dragon Dance, and I'm thinking, okay, he knows I have Will-O-Wisp, so he's not going to be stupid and try to set up a Dragon Dance, would he? But he does. I guess either banking on the Will-O-Wisp miss, or banking that over-predict, because I over-predicted hard here, going into Medicham to see what he'd do, and also fake it out, so yeah. I do get the fake out, and I do a Bullet Punch, so I'm just going to hit him that priority move as he finishes off Medicham with his massive attack set and my very small defenses. So that sucks. So now I am going to go into Mega Manectric to get off the Intimidate, but I make a stupid play after this. This Salamence is going to be a huge nuisance now that it has that Dragon Dance. I stay in and for some reason. I don't know. Did I think I could No. Well, I don't remember. Did I think... I mean, obviously Mega Manectric is super fast, and it can outspeed even Pokemon with speed boosts and the like, but not a Dragon Dance Salamence. Salamence is a pretty fast Pokemon. I don't know what I was thinking. Either way, so I go back into Jellicent, and I'm thinking, okay, this time he's going to predict Will-O-Wisp. He's not going to go for another Dragon Dance. So I switch out into Ferrothorn, predicting he would actually switch, I think, into Gastrodon. But, no, he does go for another Dragon Dance, and that's really bad for me. And then I make a huge misplay with Ferrothorn here. At this point, I'm just playing terribly. For some reason, I decide, hey, I'm going to T-Wave it, because that's going to, reduce its threat, which is true. Except that I probably could just kill with Gyro Ball at this point. I do have Gyro Ball, and it would do some it'd probably do KOing damage to the Salamence at this point. But instead, I have to set up the T-Wave twice, because he does have the berry that, I think it's the Slot Berry, I don't know. One of the whatever berry cures him of status. And I just lose Ferrothorn. I could have literally just Gyro Balled. Either way, now that I do have the T-Wave up, I can outspeed him with my Specs Porygon-Z, which is a Pokemon that I do kind of like. And yeah, I just go for the Tri-Attack, which will kill the Salamence, obviously, because it really wasn't that healthy. I probably could have just killed with Gyro Ball. I'm dumb. I don't know. I guess I was afraid that the thing had, like, a fire move. I don't know. Even then, I would have just died, so I don't know. I made a bad play there. Either way, he goes back into Registeel, and just in case he decides he wants to explode, I go out into my Jellicent. He goes for the Thunder Wave, which is going to paralyze me, which is not a huge problem. Not usually, anyway, for Jellicent, since Jellicent isn't known for being too fast. He goes for the Iron Head, and I see that he's trying to flinch stall me. It's basically the only chance he has to kill me with this Registeel. I do get paralyzed, however, I get the cursed body off on the Iron Head, so he can't use it. He has to switch. No real way to keep me from healing as he goes back into his Infernape. And I'm obviously going to recover. I do need to get Jellicent back into good condition. And yeah, I'm not really fearing Infernape, because Infernape, yeah, what's it going to do to me? It might do some decent damage with, what is it? Flare Blitz. But I don't think it can't do fighting damage to me, so yeah, just U-turns. Okay. So yeah, it goes back into Registeel. I'm not really 100% sure why. Registeel, like I said, can't really do anything. Unless he thinks he can get, like, super lucky with Iron Heads. This thing doesn't have a way to increase the chance of Iron Head. It's only 30%. It's not like, at least I don't think Registeel gets access to Serene Grace. Whatever. But he is going to try it. I just go for the Skull to get damage and hope for a burn. I really could have just used Will-O-Wisp, but I end up getting the burn anyway, so that's pretty good for me. It's residual damage, and it also reduces the damage this Registeel is doing, and pretty much makes its Explosion useless, because it's not going to be able to do much with Explosion at this point. Either way, so he goes back into Slugger, and I don't really know why. I switch out as well, so I guess it's a double switch. He goes into Slugger, I go into Porygon-Z, and I'm like, okay, I'm Spec Z. I know this thing's bulky. Let's see how much this Tri-Attack does. I don't think he can even one-hit KO me anyway, and as you can see, Specs Porygon-Z, really, really strong. This is actually a modest Specs Porygon-Z, so it's not very fast. Porygon-Z has, above average speed. Nothing great, so obviously it's going to be outspeed by the Infernape, but as you can see, it packs a punch. It can wall break incredibly. I really do like Specs Porygon-Z. Either way, he goes into Infernape and goes for the Flare Blitz against my Jellicent. Ends up doing a ton of damage, actually. Although I do Curse Body him, which is funny because, yeah, whatever. He's dead anyway. He dies to his Flare Blitz, and, well, Flare Blitz and plus his Life Orb does kill him. Alright, so he goes back, he goes into his Mega Gardevoir, and I think he kind of misplayed this. I actually stay in. I probably shouldn't have even done that. I stay in and try to go for the taunt, because I think the worst case scenario here is him getting 2 Calm Minds. Looking at my team, if he gets 2 Calm Minds, I'm probably screwed. He gets the first Calm Mind, okay, all I need to do is get off a taunt with this Jellicent, so he doesn't get a second Calm Mind, and then I got paralyzed. But he makes a misplay. Instead of trying to go for the second Calm Mind, which I seem... Okay, that's kind of the obvious play. What does he fear from my Jellicent, other than... I just didn't get what he had to fear. So now he only has 1 Calm Mind, so I'm going to be doing some nice damage still with the Specs Tri-Attack. As you can see, it does over half. I don't know how much... If he got that second Calm Mind, how much my Tri-Attack would do. Either way, it does put it in killing range of my Dragonite, who is my last Pokemon, remind you. I go for the Fire Punch, and it does take out the Gardevoir. I'm wondering if the Gardevoir could have lived if it got that second Calm Mind. You know, if it would have gotten the second Calm Mind, it might have had enough HP to live Fire Punch. I mean, I do have Life Orb on this Dragonite, but whatever. He goes into Registeel, and this is his last Pokemon, and his only chance at this point is to explode and hope that I die, but I do have Roost, so I'm going to just heal off. I could have went for another Fire Punch, but I wasn't sure if it would kill it, and I figured the safer play was just to try to tank the explosion, and I did tank it pretty nicely. That is a very good game, Fat Jesus. Probably the closest match of all of our 3 matches, I think, on YouTube now. Very, very close. Very good. 1-0. And yeah, that Salamence was really, really well doing a wallop on me. Anyway, today's question of the day is, what Pokemon do you think will get a Mega? Obviously, Pokemon-Z is coming out at some point. And it will probably include new Megas. What Pokemon do you think needs a Mega, or you want to get a Mega? As for me, Dustbuster needs a Mega. Come on, Mega Fur, please. Please, Nintendo. Mega Fur, let's make that thing useful. I'd also like to see a Mega Delibird, just so Delibird gets a use. I don't know. Leave a comment about what Mega you want to see new, whether it's in Gen 7 or Pokemon Z, whatever. Anyway, guys, this is TheKillerNacho signing off, and see you later. Bye.